Hi everybody, welcome to Tori Bird Living. I'm Tori Eiselstein and I'm a certified health coach, and I'm passionate about helping people to create a healthy lifestyle from the comfort of home. So if you like this video, like it, hit the bell so that you get notified when I release a new video. So today we're going to talk a little bit about caffeine, and if you've followed me on social media at all, you may have found out that I love coffee so much. I've been a coffee drinker for many years, and at one point I was drinking about 4 cups of coffee a day, and they weren't small cups, they were like this size to the top. I was drinking like 4 of these a day, and I wasn't feeling very well, so throughout the years I've gradually decreased the amount of coffee until I got to 1 cup of coffee a day, and then maybe 2 if I felt like it. Now, a few months ago I started feeling really icky every time I had coffee. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel energized when I had it because I was just so used to the caffeine. It's like I knew that I needed to stop drinking it for some time, but I didn't want to stop because I love coffee. And I've tried switching out coffee with tea before, but it just doesn't taste the same, and yeah, it didn't work for me. But I was tested for more food sensitivities in the beginning of this year, and it turned out caffeine was one of the things I was sensitive to, which made sense because my body was telling me that I needed to stop drinking this. I mean, it wasn't just coffee that I was drinking that had caffeine in it, but coffee was the main source because I really like coffee. So my body was telling me that I wasn't supposed to be consuming this right now, but I wasn't listening. And when I got the results, I was like, okay, now I know, and I should probably wean myself off of the coffee, which is ultimately the caffeine. So I had in my mind, okay, I can go a month without coffee because a month goes by pretty fast and it's temporary, and it's not like I was just gonna quit coffee and never have it again. So then I decided to start my transition out of caffeine drinking coffee to herbal teas, which I knew would benefit my body more at this time. Now, disclaimer, I'm not knocking coffee, I'm not knocking caffeine in itself. I think they're both awesome, but if your body is telling you not to consume something, then that means you should probably not consume it. And it doesn't mean it's a permanent thing. Like, you know, maybe your body just had too much of it and it needs a break from it. And within a month or so, you can go back to it, or week, or however long it varies depending on the person and the situation. But for me, I knew this is something like I just needed to stop drinking coffee as much as I was. So I started with getting like smaller mugs, which really helped because I was drinking mugs like this every morning. Because I like a big mug. My caffeine intake went down a little bit, and then I transitioned to this matcha tea that did have caffeine in it, but not as much because it still had like a creamy type texture to it, and it tasted really good. So I wasn't mad when I switched it out. And once I got used to that, then I moved into the green and black teas, and then eventually within the next few days switched to an herbal mint tea because I love mint. Honestly, any herbal tea would have been fine, but I just really like mint. And so when I transitioned that way, I don't think I had any headaches. Yeah, so when I transitioned that way, I didn't have any headaches, I didn't suffer from any withdrawals, and I could go about my day pretty normally. I was a little more tired, but I was also detoxing a lot of things at that time, so I can't really tell if that was exactly the lower caffeine or if it was just everything all together. But I felt pretty, like my stomach felt really good with not drinking so much coffee, because coffee is pretty acidic. So my stomach did feel better after not drinking it every day. And you know, decaf was a good option, but I honestly don't like the taste of decaf really. And it still is acidic, and I think that's just what my body, one of the things my body was reacting to. And I did feel much better, and eventually I got to the point where I didn't have to depend on caffeine to feel energized, which I really liked, because I didn't like the idea of being dependent on something to make me feel energized. And it just made it a lot easier in the morning when I woke up. If I were like out of town, or if I was staying at someone's house, I didn't have to be concerned about drinking coffee by a certain time or else getting a bad headache or feeling lethargic. So I really like that aspect of it. But then after a couple months of being coffee free, I started to have coffee a little more here and there, because I'm not addicted to caffeine anymore. So I can drink it a few times out of the week and not have that need to consume it every single day, which I really like. Right now I'm drinking a little bit of coffee just because I need a little bit of a boost, but for the most part I go coffee free throughout the day and caffeine free altogether. I worked really hard to not be addicted to caffeine, and I don't want to go back, but every now and then I will have caffeine. Like right now I'm drinking some coffee. It's actually Four Sigmatic coffee, which is pretty good. It feels more like a treat to me rather than something I need to just survive. And I'm not hating on coffee or caffeine at all. Ideally, we should be energized and we should not have to depend on caffeine, but we don't live in a perfect world, right? We don't always get 7 to 8 hours of good sleep. We have long work hours, we're stressed out. There's travel, there's change in the schedule. There are so many variables that we just sometimes need that boost to actually feel energized. But I don't think caffeine in itself is a bad thing as long as it's used in moderation, just like anything else. Unless your doctor tells you not to consume caffeine because of your health, or if your body is telling you to lower your caffeine intake. That was my video today on caffeine. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on caffeine, on coffee? What has your experience been with caffeine addiction? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.